welcome to today's episode of Tea Time with Nori, West Coast edition, because we're still in the West Coast. If you're meeting for the first time, hi, hola, I'm Nori. I help millennial women that are feeling stuck eliminate self doubt so that they can feel more inner peace by focusing on the things that they can control. I hope you're having an amazing Sunday this Sunday today, and I'm really looking forward to sharing with you something that I realized I had been doing. And it took me a while to kind of understand why I was doing this thing. But I wanted to share with you because maybe you are doing this too and you may or may not realize it. So I wanted to share with you four reasons why you are currently lying to yourself. And you might be thinking, Nori, I'm not lying to myself. I don't do that. But there are some lies you're telling yourself, and there are some reasons why you're doing that. And I wanted to take some time today to share with you why that is so that you can, make some changes in your life. So let's get right into it. So, one of the things that we don't realize is that we are constantly telling ourselves these lies. And the lies that we tell ourselves really depend on our situation and what we're dealing with. Sometimes these lies are things like, I'm going to be on time, even though you know you're going to be late. Sometimes there are things like, I am going to do something with my friend later, even if you know you're going to cancel on that person. So there are those kind of lies that we tell ourselves. But then there are these other lies that we tell ourselves that are much bigger lies. Things like, I can't wait till later to follow my dreams, or I'm not deserving of that promotion, or I don't want to say the thing that I really mean because I'm afraid that I'm going to hurt people with my honesty, or right now it's not the right time for me to invest in myself and my healing, or I can't wait until later, hoping that later shows up. So, why do we tell ourselves these lies? Why do we purposely lie to ourselves about things that we know are not true? Well, one of the reasons why we tell ourselves lies is because we don't want to face the reality of the things about ourselves that we don't like. A lot of times when we are lying to ourselves, so when I used to tell myself lies, and I'm really like paying close attention to what kind of lies I do tell myself because something that I'm still currently working on. Um, so one of the things I realized was that I would lie to myself about things that I didn't like. One of the lies I would tell myself constantly was that I was always on time. But in reality, I wasn't always on time. I was late a lot. And it was difficult for me to accept that because I felt like I was always on time. And suddenly here were my friends letting me know that I wasn't, that wasn't true. And the reason why I was lying to myself about that was because I didn't want to accept that I was the type of person that wasn't on time. I didn't want to accept that I was the type of person that didn't take people's time seriously and didn't respect it and thought that my time was more important than their time. So I would lie to myself about being late all the time because I was like, oh, I'm just late sometimes. I'm not late all the time. And this became something that I will like replay to myself over and over again to convince myself that I wasn't the type of person that was late all the time, even though the facts, the receipts show that I was that type of person. So sometimes we lie to ourselves because we don't want to accept the reality of our situation. We don't want to accept that we are doing certain things in a certain way and that we are the type of person that doesn't show up on time, the type of person that doesn't respect other people's time, the type of person that doesn't take certain things seriously because we have been taught that we are supposed to be the type of person that does those things. So when it came to me, struggling with being on time, I really had a difficult time accepting that I wasn't someone that was punctual because every time someone would tell me that, I'd be like, oh, that's only sometimes. That's not all the time. And as I reflected on this, I realized that I had spent thousands of dollars making up for the fact that I was not a timely person, whether it meant paying money for plane rides to like rebook plane rides or to rebook train rides, things like that. So you have to understand that one of the main reasons why you lie to yourself is because you are running away from accepting the type of person that you have become. And one of the second reason why you lie to yourself is because you are afraid of what people are going to say. You are afraid that people are not going to validate you. You are afraid that people are going to treat you differently. So you tell yourself these lies to try to fit it in a mold that will make other people comfortable. You tell yourself lies so that you can pretend to be in a group of people so they will accept you. So the way this was manifesting in my life was I was really struggling earlier on with accepting that there were just some things I wasn't interested in. I was struggling, like friends will invite me to certain things and I'll go to it, or I'll be like, oh yeah, I want to go to that. But in reality, I didn't want to go to that. And the reason why I was conceding to doing things I didn't want to do, it was because I was afraid of being accepted. I was afraid of people being like, oh, Nori doesn't come out, like, people loving me less because I wasn't doing the things they wanted me to do. And in that quest to be accepted, in that quest to want to be validated by other people, I was lying to myself about things that I thought I quote unquote cared about because I wanted them to think that I did. And a lot of us are pretending to be people that we are not, so that we get the acceptance and the love of people that are in our circle. And we lie to ourselves constantly about the things we care about the things we want to do, about the things we don't want to do, to seek that recognition and to seek that validation from other people. And what we don't realize is that every time we lie to ourselves about who we truly are, we are robbing those people of the opportunity of getting to know who we really are underneath all of that. So every time you're lying to yourself about the things that you care about, the things that are important to you, so that you can fit in with people, so that you can be accepted by people, you are robbing those people of the opportunity of getting to know the real you, the person that you are when you're not pretending to be someone you're not. So the third reason why we lie to ourselves is because we are just afraid. We are afraid that we're not going to get the thing that we want. We are afraid that we're not going to be rewarded. We are afraid that we're going to be secluded from the group. We are afraid that we're not going to achieve the thing. We are afraid that we're not going to get the reward. And out of fear, we do a lot of crazy things. Anytime that you are afraid, you will look at a situation very differently than when you're not afraid. Because when you are afraid, you're using the filter of fear to make your decision. And often, what we do when we are afraid of whether it's losing someone we love, or whether it is losing attention from people, or whether it is not getting the thing that we want, we cloud ourselves and we cloud our judgment, and we rob ourselves of the opportunity to look at a situation objectively. So when we are afraid, it's difficult for us to say, okay, I'm not going to do this because I generally don't want to do this. I'm going to be honest about this. Because when we think about honesty, we are afraid that the honesty we give to people is going to cause them pain, that we're going to say the thing that's going to hurt their feelings. And then we don't want to say that thing, so we don't say it. We lie to ourselves about it so that we can lie to them about it. Don Miguel Ruiz, who wrote the Four Agreements, he says this in his book, and he says that people lie to themselves every single day, and you shouldn't be surprised that they're going to lie to you too, because they lie to themselves every single day. They convince themselves that they are okay. They convince themselves that nothing is wrong. They convince themselves that they don't have to seek the next thing for themselves, that they don't have to invest in themselves or show up for themselves. And because of that, they're going to convince you of the same thing. The fourth reason why we lie to ourselves is because we are projecting onto others the lies that people have projected onto us. We are constantly projecting ourselves onto other people. It's something that we do as part of the human experience. When you meet someone, if they are in a great mood, they're going to project a great mood to you. If you meet someone and they're not in a great mood, guess what? They're going to project that not great mood onto you as well. And because we are constantly projecting ourselves onto people, if someone has projected a lie to you and you've decided to believe that lie, you're going to project that lie into other people too. And sometimes you don't realize that you are just pushing a lie that was given to you because you haven't checked yourself about how you really feel about it. And honesty, uncomfortable honesty, comes at a cost. When you are being honest with people, there's a chance that they're not going to like you. They're not going to agree with you. They're not going to want to spend time with you anymore. And you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth me giving up who I am? Is it worth me giving up the things I care about? Is it worth me sacrificing myself in the name of a potential relationship, in the name of a potential friendship, in the name of a potential job, when your integrity and your heart is not in it? And too many of us are afraid of losing attention from people that we sacrifice ourselves. We sacrifice the things that we care about. We sacrifice our peace of mind. We sacrifice our health in the name of those relationships. And we are constantly lying to ourselves to try to preserve an identity of someone that we are not, out of fear that we will lose the things that we think are the most important, out of fear that we're going to lose money, that we're going to lose prestige, we're going to lose attention, we're going to maybe lose a partner. And the question you have to ask yourself is, if being who I am means that these people are not going to be my life anymore, do I really need to have these people in my life? If being who I am means that I'm not going to get that promotion at this job, does that mean that I need to stay at this job? If being who I truly am means that this partner is not going to be with me, do you really want to have that partner? Too many of us are living a pretend life because we are afraid of losing the thing we think we quote unquote want, when what we don't realize is the only thing we're really losing is ourselves. We're losing the person we really are. We're losing the things we really care about. And we are sacrificing us in the name of potential relationships, potential gains of money. And what we don't realize is that at the end of the day, none of that really matters. Because when you are on your deathbed, none of that is going to be the most important thing. What's really going to matter is who you were, how you lived your life, and that you did the things that really gave you peace and really made you happy and brought you joy. So those are the 4 reasons why we lie to ourselves and how it impacts us and what it's costing us. And I want to invite you today to take some time to reflect on what kind of lies you're telling yourself so that you can change them. And if those lies don't serve you, because they're not, take a moment to really reflect on that and to remove them from your life so that you can learn from that and you can have more joy, you can have more peace, and you can welcome the life that you really want in your day to day. So if that's something that you need help with or you want support with, hit me up, click on the comments. I have a link for you, or head to iamhealthyfit.com/schedule. And I love to talk to you and explore how I can help you create more room for joy and happiness in your life by removing these lies that you're telling yourself to try to fit into a mold that is not you. Okay, take care of yourself. I love you, and I will see you in the next video. Hasta luego.